Yeah, you do.
I didn't even know they were going to be here.
Make a difference in the lives of these kids and do it right now because your money's being doubled thanks to Bunzel's Meat Market. 414-337-9554. You can also donate on our website. You can text 414-799-1965. Text the word miracle to that number and we'll send you a link back and you can donate.
Super easy.
Link. I don't know if this would be like the overriding theme of this year's 26th Annual Miracle Marathon, but as a parent, a longtime parent, and as a grandparent of 7 kids, I can tell you that after reading the synopsis of all of the interviews that we're going to do in the next couple of days here, you as a parent or a grandparent are never out of the woods.
Nope.
That's the moral of the story.
Yep.
I mean, you think your kids make it to a certain benchmark and everything is good.
Right, totally healthy, and then...
Sure, first grade, third grade, sixth grade, everything's
Right,
fine.
high school,
High school, even.
Yeah.
You just never know.
which is where Jenny comes in.
For example, Jenny Cape joins us right now. Jenny, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Great.
And who's this guy next to you here?
This is Dr. Margolis.
Dr. David Margolis, pediatrician in chief at Children's Wisconsin. How you doing today, Doc?
I'm doing great. Thank you all. As always, you're 26.
So now you, a couple things. First of all, cool tie. Dr. Margolis is wearing his Rolling Stones lips and tongue tie.
Love it.
I'm sure you can't wear that on a day-to-day basis here at Children's, but when KLH is in the house,
KLH is in the house. I got a
Good.
good reason.
Yep.
It's the demographic.
and you met Jenny when she was how old?
She told me 16, so she's right.
Yeah.
Okay, Jenny, you
She
were
would know.
16. You were playing soccer for Brookfield Central.
Yep.
Take us back to that when you were 16 years old.
Yeah, so I was a junior in high school, started my junior year, playing high school soccer, club basketball, very active, very involved in a lot of different things, until, started not feeling so great, I guess, and things kind of progressed. And I guess the first sign was I was going to an open gym, like a 6 a.m. open gym for basketball practice, and I actually passed out in my driveway, which was like the biggest red flag.
Yeah,
That never
right.
happened before.
Yeah,
So,
that's scary, right,
Yeah.
in itself.
yeah. And so I still went to the open gym because
were
Because
you woke
you.
like,
They
I'm
woke
fine.
you up?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Just need to wake up. Got to practice. Couldn't do a lot of sprints or anything, so we just went to the pediatrician and got a blood draw. And I remember them calling us and saying, "You need to go to Children's Hospital right now. Like, don't go to anywhere else. Go to Children's right now." And so that was where I met Dr. Margolis.
Well, that's kind of scary.
Yeah.
Okay,
Right?
so what was the diagnosis at that time?
Jenny was diagnosed with severe aplastic anemia, which is a bone marrow failure disease.
Okay.
And her bone marrow had basically shut down, so she passed out because she did not have enough red cells on board, and that was a bit dangerous at the time.
Yeah. So is this a common or is this rare?
It is a rare disease that Jenny's not the first patient we've had on the Miracle Marathon over the years because of the expertise started by Dr. Comita back in the 70s. We've got more than our fair share of patients with severe aplastic anemia here at Children's Wisconsin, and Jenny just happened to be somebody from Brookfield instead of California.
Right. And we've talked to a lot of people, Dr. Margolis, you specifically. They come here to see you from all over the world.
They come for our team, and
I know that.
Yes,
I get that.
and I'm here, so we can move on to student Dr. K.
So now, what did Doc Margolis do for you? You're still in high school,
Yeah.
trying to get through your soccer, and do you come in and get a bone marrow transplant? How's it work?
Yeah, I remember it all happened. It happened pretty fast. I remember saying like what you said, hearing what you heard. People coming from all over the country to see Dr. Margolis and the team, and there's experts and specialists in aplastic anemia 20 minutes from my house. So just immediately that gratitude of being able to be so close to home and receive treatment while still living from home and not having to travel across the country. I remember doing a lot of blood tests, a lot of workup, having a biopsy done, them testing all my siblings to see if anyone was a match. And I remember pretty vividly waking up one morning and my parents rushing in the room and being like, "Jenny, your older brother's a match. How awesome is this?" And I was like, "Great, but now this means I actually have to do this."
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah.
So I think within a month of diagnosis, I was being admitted for transplant. And Dr. Margolis and the entire team was great. I remember them like FaceTiming me almost like a couple days after my diagnosis to explain exactly what it was and teaching me about the bone marrow garden and like everything that kind of like he was very great at educating me about my diagnosis because it is a pretty rare disease and just constantly supporting me, empowering me, and making sure that my goals align with my care.
So that gets you through high school, and then you go on to the University of Iowa, and you play.
And Jenny left one thing out.
Yeah.
Jenny's goal the entire time included make me well, and I want to continue to play soccer.
And you did it.
Yeah.
And she did. And she did at the high school level. I remember one of my great highlights was going to see her at Uline Park score a goal maybe a day after the pick line was out, or maybe the pick line was still in.
Wow.
Within a very short, Lynette, who's behind us, maybe pushed me to allow you to do this, and she was back playing competitive soccer not far after the transplant, and that was pushing this doctor a little out of his comfort zone, but Jenny just rocked it.
Yeah, I had transplant in like November, and I got back into school in March, and just in time for high school soccer season. And our team ended up winning the state championship that year, and Dr. Margolis was at this championship game, and so it was
That's
just
pretty cool.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Then your journey has taken you from Iowa to.
I'm in medical school right now.
And your finals, you need to know this. Her finals are
Tomorrow.
After year one of medical school. Round of applause for that.
Yeah, how about that?
And she's still here talking to us. That is incredible.
But you said you had your dad drive you so you could study when you're in the car,
Yeah.
right?
I was like, can you come to Madison and pick me up?
Right.
He's like, yeah, I'll do my flashcards in the car. So it all worked out.
You got it.
You
You got
still
it,
use
right?
flashcards. I still have
They're
my
electronic
flashcards.
flashcards.
Mine were not.
Yours they brought in.
Chiseled them. No.
Yeah.
From big tablets. So you're here today, and your finals tomorrow, and there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
You're here because what Children's has done for you meant so much. Would it be too much of a stretch to say you're in medical school because of the care you received here?
Not at all. I mean, I was always kind of interested in like healthcare and science, and I was thinking maybe veterinary science or orthodontics. But then I think coming here and seeing like how much of a difference my medical team made on my like outcome, and like even we didn't really talk about it, but I relapsed 4 years later, and like I had to come back and get a second transplant. So like I've known
While
this,
at Iowa.
Yeah. So.
Plus, yeah, I mean, she came from Iowa playing soccer here, had a bone marrow transplant, and I think she went back to Iowa and played more soccer.
Yeah. So
Incredible young lady.
And so I think throughout the entire experience, like my team at Children's like really empowered me and like listened to me and supported my goals, and they never like talked down or talked at me. It was always like making sure that I felt supported in what I wanted to do.
Dr. Margolis, this is the 26th Miracle Marathon. How has the hospital changed? How has technology changed? Is there any way to quantify or put it into words what people's money is actually doing and helping with?
I've said it before, I'll say it again, I go to fewer funerals. That's what it means. We have more people who are survivors. Across the board, whether it's the bone marrow transplant program, the cancer program, the heart program, the GI program, the neonatology program, we have more survivors. And we're not at 100% survival. And I heard Bridget this morning talk about all the social determinants of health and making an impact that way. So we've got a lot more work to do to have everyone have a great outcome like student Dr. K. But what the Miracle Marathon has done and what this community has done is invested in the children of our community so more and more children can grow up to be productive adults.
So people are listening to this and they're going, okay, you got all these different programs. What's my money go to? Like, how does my money help that? That's what I'd like you to articulate to people.
That money goes to research, funds clinical research, funds basic science research, funds all the wellness, all the child life, the child life specialists. What Bridget talked about this morning, all of the programs that we have at a children's hospital that the insurance does not cover. And I think that we want to invest in the best and brightest people, the newest technology, and do it in a Milwaukee way that we wrap our arms around our patients and our families. I guarantee you, Jenny benefited from Child Life. I guarantee you she benefited from just the way we're able to wrap around an entire family and support. The teaching program that we have here, you know, being able to still go to class while you're in the hospital. So we have incredible support from the community, and the investments matter.
Do you know what type of doctor you want to be?
I'm not entirely sure. I always say I want to work with kids, though. I'm actually doing like pediatric research this summer, so we'll see how it goes.
Are you still playing soccer?
No, like recreationally,
Recreationally?
but,
Okay.
but not really, no.
So you're kind of like a ringer. You just show up. And
Yeah,
go.
I just kind of
We
show
need
up.
one more. Just one more. Maybe one. I'll get
Yeah,
in
I've
on
played
this
a
game.
couple years before.
Yeah, right. Well, thank you for sharing your story.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's inspirational. It's also a little scary, as I mentioned at the beginning, as a parent, because you think, oh, my kid's in high school, everything is fine, and you just never know.
Right, and healthy and happy and playing sports and doing all of that stuff, and then, so, you know, you're right.
Jenny, thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank
Dr.
you so much for
Margolis,
having me.
always a pleasure.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Doreen. And I know we're probably over time, and Marcus is going to get mad at me, but I'm one of the people that was honored to probably work with you 26 years ago in the cafeteria.
Wow.
And just thank you.
Well.
And you and the entire KLH and team, but Dave, you have carried that mantle for a lifetime, because 26 years is the lifetime for many, many kids right now. And so,
And I'm
thank you.
totally sincere when I say this. I get so much more out of this than what I put into it, because getting to meet these young people, getting to meet their families, the inspirational stories, and I said this earlier today, most of us pay like streaming services to watch inspirational stories as entertainment. These are real life stories that you who are listening right now can actually affect the outcome of.
Yeah.
So how amazing is that? So if you can see your way clear to donate some money, and your money's being doubled right now, 414-337-9554. Thank you. Appreciate it. Dr. Margolis, thank you, Jay. More Miracle Marathons coming up.